All right, everyone, and welcome to GIT 211 Fall 2008 Section B. My name is Arno Egner. I'll be your professor for this class. Um, like I said, welcome, and let me introduce to you the class. The class is a fast-paced work. You need to do around 8 hours of work a week to 10 minimum. And let me introduce how it works. So you meet your instructor right here, and let me put it in section right so you can see it. That's me right there, IGIT. I am a full-time lecturer on campus at Polytechnic campus. The class works this way. The syllabus is right here. You can look at it. It explains everything that you need to do and most of what we're doing. You have all the projects right here. Okay, and basically the class is built around two main projects. One of the projects is a 2D project to get you going, and the second project is a 3D project to get you going in 3D and to get you going with Maya 3D software. Okay, so if you look at it right here, you have the textbook information. I know this is an older book. You'll find it used. It is not fully necessary. The class is built in a manner that you can go through the class completely without buying the books. I have video and lecture for everything we do in multiple formats, so you can look at it in the format you want. Okay, but this is a nice older book that deals mainly with concept and skills and not software orientated. Okay, so that's kind of pretty cool because of that. So now you have the course schedule right there. I'm sure you looked at it already. So as you can see, we have a pretty packed week every week. Okay, all the way to the end, the 7 week, which is actually a little easier. The 7 week, probably the week that you're going to less work as you're going to clean up your mesh. Okay, so let's look at it. Before we go, actually, let's keep going like that. We'll look at the week by week in the content right here. Okay, you have the discussion board right here with all the discussions. It is important to note something is this way. Due to the size of my classes, I have a simple rule that needs to be followed so the class can go forward properly. The rule is like that. You have really two types of questions. You have personal questions, all right, private, personal, and class questions, you know, that not personal, right? Personal questions are what is my grade? I am sick. Can I bring the homework a little later? Thing that has to do with yourself only, and that shouldn't put on the forum as they are very personal. Okay, you email me these directly to me at arno.egner@asu.edu. Okay, and this is in my Meet Your Professors. All right, this is right here. So you're sure to get me like that, simple. Okay, now the non-personal questions are questions about the class itself. How do I do that? When is the next homework due? Can you give me some advice on what I've done? You know, things like that. Those are not personal, and they are class worth it. What I mean is that other students will have probably similar question than you. That is why I don't want you to send it to me directly, but I want you to upload it to the forum so others can learn about it. I answer really quickly. I look at forum multiple times a day. Your question is usually answered in the next couple hours, unless I sleep, obviously. Okay, so that's very important to understand that. Okay, the hallway conversation, all right, is a different one too. That is just administration. There's a broken link. It does happen. One of your videos disappeared. It does happen. Okay, so you just let me know in the hallway conversation, and I will be glad to help you. The others, all the week discussions right here, different weeks, are mainly to show your work and or to ask a question about your work, about something in the class you don't know how to use, you don't know how to do. It's very simple. Okay? So now the course content is right here. This is pretty much our last thing right here. And right now you can see only week 1. This is how I do my class. I'm sorry. It is all there. There's nothing waiting to be done. The class is already ready completely, as you can see. I just don't want you to rush through it. Some students could rush through it, and I want everybody to be together at the same speed and kind of help each others by looking at things we've done and we've done good or not, so we can learn. So because of that, you will see only the week you are in and the previous week, so you can refer to those weeks if you need to for the knowledge. Okay? I think it's fair enough like that. Now let's look at our 7 weeks and what we need to achieve. Okay? First of all, one of the main things we're going to achieve is 2 main projects that you can use for your portfolio. Alright? So one of the projects is to create a 2D side scroller. Alright, like Alienware, Super Contra, stuff like that, right? Or even Mario, but I want a little bit more depth on the project, and you'll see that than just Super Mario. But like that, a side scroller is what you need to do. So you will start with the first part, as you can see, in the first 3 weeks are for the side scroller. Okay, first right here in week 1. Okay, you are going to create your first assignment, and let's look at that right now. Okay, you are going to do it's in 2 parts really. Okay, so yes, it is in 2 parts. Your assignment 1. The first part right here goes all the way here. Okay, is you doing a simple small game design of a side scroller. We cannot go through the process of creating a full 2D level if we don't have a side scroller video game doc. So you're gonna have to create a small video game doc, and in week 1 there's a video about it to talk about what you need to do. Alright, and then after that, of a certain size, the size is right here to explain what you need to do. In assignment 1, there's a video for that, and then you need to do part 2 after that. All right here is to create a classic pixel art character. Okay, this is very important, and you can give it whatever you want. One thing, the classic pixel art character you're gonna create cannot be one that already exists. Okay, you need to do your own thing. All right, that is very, very important. Okay, so, and you need to follow the proper size of the character. All right, and all the different specification asked in the character. Okay, that's for your assignment 1. All right, so that's how week 1 will start pretty much. Okay, now you have all the learning right there. Now if you look at week 2, alright, in week 2 you're gonna do seamless style. So you're gonna start creating the background that you sketched up in your game doc. Alright, you're gonna create that background using seamless styles. It's a technique. You will learn how to do seamless textures, and then you'll create seamless styles. Alright, everything is right here. Alright, in all those lectures right there. Okay, and you will tile that in a small simple editor that my team's done years ago for some of the game we've created. Okay, now decal set for the 2D video game. That will be your 3rd week. After you've done your tiling, the level looks great, but it's a little boring because it's repetitive. We're using tiles. Sorry, we're using seamless tiles, so it's very repetitive. So we need to kind of customize our level, and this is when we create a decal set for 2D video games, and that will actually help customize your level to make it feel that it's not being tiled, okay, and repetitive. So that's what we'll do in the 3rd week. This is it for the 2D. The reason I make you do 2D is for 2 main reasons. First of all, we're doing classic pixel art, which is dealing with a pixel. The pixel is the smallest part visually you can have on a computer screen built by a computer, and it is very important to understand how to use it in any type of art digital. Okay, and the pixel is a square basically, that is very similar to what you do in the second part right here, which is 3D modeling, where we use a box and not a square, so a 3D square, basically a box, to model our object in a very similar way in reality than classic pixel art 2D, in which we need to go to the essence of our object. So this is very important. This is one of the reasons I make you do that. And the other reason also is because you're going to learn how to shade in 2D, okay, which is very important to any artist for video games, and that you are any type of business actually digital. And then you are going to use that later on in your 3D model to actually texture your object. So as you can see, there's a lot of things that are going on together to work it out, to help you get a better understanding and make sure you have strong bases in game art. Okay, so what you'll do in week 4, you'll start modeling an object for 3D video game, a prop, a simple prop that you'll use the tool, and you're going to learn Maya to do that from Autodesk, that to create a prop for a video game using all the rules needed for video game only. And they are tricky, they're very constraining on the artist, way more than any other industry. Okay, now after you model your object, in week 5 you're going to unwrap the object, okay, and texture it. What it is that unwrapping is basically going from the 3D world coordinate system of the 3D object into a 2D world coordinate system that you can use to paint the object into a 2D software like Photoshop. It's important to note that there is really 2 techniques I really show in that part of the class with Photoshop. Is you can paint your object really in 3D and bring a 3D object basically inside Photoshop and then paint it, and that does work, and it'll work for what you're doing right now, a prop, because it's not too heavy. But it's a lot harder when you actually are going to do more complicated mesh. All right, the machine is gonna probably choke. So that's why I'll show you also the 2D old school ways that is done using UV flat in Photoshop. Okay, then you get into animation loops. So you take your objects and you create an animation loops following exactly the rules of 3D game art for 3D video games. So that's very important. And then in the 7th week, you are going to finalize your mesh, which is clean up your mesh to make sure it has no stars, which is 5 pointers, polygon faces, no holes, no overlapping points, and everything that makes an object called a non-manifold. This is a very important step that makes it ready to go into the game engine, which is a fairly sometimes strict formatting system. So because of that, it needs to be formatted a certain way to work, and if it's not, it won't be importable. You can't import it in the game engine. Okay, you will also do a final test, which is a simple little final test about everything you've done in the class. The test is not on the book knowledge, but on all the lecture in the class. And as you will see, there's quite a bit of little lectures. If you pick any week like that, you will see I've got pretty much everything right here, and let me use multiple even different type of Maya depending on the years. And the reason is that I frankly do not like Maya so much past 2015, and the reason is that since 2015 it has created more bugs than it used to, which crashes the software. Alright, so that's pretty much it. That's the class right here. Hey, I'll see you in the classroom. Have some fun, start early, and don't hesitate to ask questions. Thank you.